So today I wanted to take a little bit of time to talk about why it seems like so many Overwatch content creators seem to make quote-unquote the same video or similar videos or stuff like that. Why a lot of times a lot of the ideas seem kind of similar, and mainly why that just kind of happens. Now I know a lot of times when people Overwatch creators are talking about this type of subject, they make a funny video about it, they just make fun of everybody for doing this, and then they just kind of throw it to the side and everybody laughs, and it's good with that. And I'm perfectly fine with that. If you want to leave it there, whatever, go for that. I personally feel like it's really funny as well. But I want to talk about my own opinion about this, and mainly again why it kind of happens. Now with that said, I'm not going to try to roast anyone today, to try to expose anyone today, myself or anyone else. I feel like personally, as long as you're making videos and you enjoy the videos that you're making, and you're adding at least a little bit of ideas and your own mix and your own twist into the videos, whatever it is, maybe you're a rager, maybe you're somebody that likes to be really engaging to your content, maybe you're somebody that likes to be very analytical, but you all make similar videos, I feel like that's still good enough. As long as you're enjoying making your content, that's what I feel like is very important, at least from the creator side of you. But with that said, let's talk about, some of the main things, I guess, about this that mainly I've just been thinking about. And I don't really have any exact bullet points, so I might go off, one way or another, but I will go off on my own opinion at least. So you can kind of hear what at least I'm thinking about all of this. Now, one of the main things, and I feel like the definite main thing to why a lot of content creators are making quote-unquote the same video is because, simply put, YouTube makes it work. And I know that you don't really like that answer, and I know that you wish that answer wasn't true, but YouTube kind of screws over a lot of creative ideas. If you have a brand new idea and it doesn't immediately explode, like some videos do, but most don't, then you're just kind of screwed. You just put in maybe a lot of hours, a lot of thought, a lot of intention into this brand new idea, this brand new video, and then it just completely flopped. And there you go. You're down all that time, all that work, all that everything, and YouTube doesn't really help you that much in this case. And the thing about making videos that are already going to work decently well, but adding to them, adding to what you've said in the past, changing up what your ideas are, or changing up depending on what the meta is that those videos are going to do pretty well. You know that if you make a meta-analysis video, or a Grandmaster video, or maybe like a new how to get to Diamond video, or something like that, you know that while you might not be able to give as much new information, as much new insight, as much new topics as you would maybe like to in some of your other videos, it's going to at least do okay. And that your effort is going to actually go into the video, that you're going to get results back, and maybe not, the best results in the world, maybe not like a super big hit, but at least decent results and sustainable results. And that's really kind of hard, because once you get to a certain point of YouTube, if you don't start to get sustainable results, it's hard to really, kind of show off that you even should be doing it. It's like, I should probably be doing something a little bit different than this, because it's not very sustainable. And that's why I feel like a lot of people start to kind of do this. I feel like a really good example for this would be, let me just pull up my channel real quick, simply my last few videos for the last few week or two. In these brand new videos, I've been trying to focus on mainly two things. Make videos that I know are going to do pretty well, that I can add extra insight on, and then as well with that, try to make videos that I really like to talk about, topics that maybe aren't covered way too much, whatever. And basically how it's been working out is pretty decently. Of course, the videos that I know are going to do pretty well, they're already up at like 40, almost 50,000 views. They're doing pretty well. Of course, they probably won't reach the higher, highest echelon, like 2 million views or whatever, but they're doing okay. But here's the problem that I feel like a lot of people run into when making videos about just stuff that they want to talk about. For example, why I sometimes hate playing DPS, or how the vocal minority ruins Overwatch balance. Topics that maybe just won't be clicked on quite as much. I put in more effort into those videos, I put in more thought into those videos, I try to just come up with a lot of new stuff in those videos, but the results show not as much. Of course, people were actually really nice, give a lot of likes to those things, they showed that they did support them, but as far as view count, 3,000 and then 6,600, which isn't bad by any standard. But it's just not nearly as good in most cases, and I feel like it's very hard to argue that you can make a lot of these very creative, very different videos by themselves. What I found is a very good solution, at least for myself, is kind of having a 50-50 of both, because it allows for your videos that maybe wouldn't get as many clicks, your more creative videos, to actually show up in your suggested feed, or I guess in your subscription feed, of people that are looking up these tip videos, that are looking up these videos that, they've probably gotten used to watching, how to get to Diamond, why I can't climb, stuff like that. And then they see some new ideas, and they'll click on those, and they'll go onto those. I feel like Nateson does a really good, thing with this. because he does quite a bit of tip videos and stuff like that, but he's been moving more into these videos where he talks about his ideas, what he enjoys, all that stuff. And since he has a good enough viewer base, it kind of just explodes and more people can see it. But I feel like the problem is, if you don't have a pretty decent viewer base, or a pretty decent subscriber base, how can you make these videos that are so creative, that have very unique titles, and expect them to show up much on YouTube? Of course they can, especially if you have very, very good like clickbait titles, or very, very good just different titles that no one else thought of. That can work. But a lot of the cases, when you're just trying to give out your ideas and not trying to clickbait and not trying to, you know, get a lot of views, but just trying to give out what you want to say as a little bit more creative than usual, a lot of the times YouTube just doesn't really support it. So I feel like that's at least why a lot of content creators will make these videos. Of course, your Overwatch, Stylosa, all these other creators make a lot of tip videos because, simply put, they bring in a decent amount of audience. And once you have that audience, you can do a lot of other videos that you enjoy more. The problem comes when people start to see the same videos a lot. And how a lot of creators try to fix this, and how I try to fix this myself, is maybe give some of the same tips, some similar tips that maybe some new viewers did not see, but then try to change it up for the new season, change it up for the new meta, change it up for new things that I've learned, and overall just kind of change how my content works every single time I try to release a newer vision or a new version or new anything like that. And I feel like personally, it makes so I can do a half decent enough job so that I can still teach you guys new stuff, as you know, try to entertain you guys with new ideas, and try to just make sure you guys are still having fun watching tip videos, even though they are somewhat similar to ones that I've talked about in the past. And I always try to do that, or at least I'm starting to try to do that lately. For a while in the past, I wasn't, and I'm going to, you know, give that out. For a while in the past, I was just trying to simply put out as much stuff as I could, as much tip videos, and much whatever, because I knew it would work, and I was like, well, I'll just put very little effort into these, and go on from there. And they worked half okay, but I feel like really putting more effort into these is a lot funner, is a lot more enjoyable for me, and more people actually react back. They like, they comment, they sub. It does work, I feel like, at least personally, from looking at my stats and stuff like that. One other thing, though, that I would like to kind of just show as an example, I guess, is that when you look at my channel again, and go back, I'd say, maybe to where I was doing all those live commentaries, I was trying out something new, and while they didn't do horrible, they didn't do that great either. My channel started to die pretty stinking quickly. I was trying out something new, and it just didn't work, and I guess that can go two ways. Of course, I'm not going to say you have to support people trying something new. You might not like it. But at the same time, when you only support old content or content that you think is reused, and when you only click on those videos, of course, those certain type of videos are going to keep showing up. Personally, I figured I'm not that great at making gameplay videos, so I'm going to focus on what I enjoy and what I'm good at. But there's just an example about how certain videos just simply seem to do a little bit better, and overall how that kind of works. Now, as well with this, I feel like something that I want to just kind of go over a little bit about why YouTubers do seem to try to do the same thing, is simply because they want to try to keep their channel afloat as well. A lot of the times right now, YouTube is very hard to stay on. You aren't getting paid way too much, you aren't getting promoted way too much, and Overwatch, while it's not really dying, Overwatch YouTube is not that big when you compare it to most other YouTube types of things. At least as far as tip videos go and a lot of other type of videos. You know, getting better videos. It's pretty big. A lot of, you know, a good base of people watch a lot of them. But it's not like League of Legends where, you know, you can upload a good tip video and get 400, 500,000 views. Overwatch, people just don't really care about getting better as much and don't really care about the rank system as much and all that different stuff. So that's as well, I guess. I don't know. That's just a thing to add to the pot, I guess. It's just kind of different about the game. And I guess that's kind of why a lot of people try to make these funny moments, funny channel type of stuff, which I'm perfectly fine with. I do enjoy them and I watch quite a bit myself. But the problem is, once you start to try to make those, again, if you don't have a viewer base, you're just kind of screwed. You won't really be supported by the Overwatch algorithms. Let's say if you look up, there we go. If we look up Muselk, for example, the God of Overwatch, of course that's a pretty good title. However, if we look up some other stuff, like Gmod 2017 is weird. If you weren't a good, if you weren't a big YouTuber, you wouldn't get much views. So you just kind of be screwed. So when you're smaller, you do have to focus on making certain types of content. You have to focus on making content that the average person will click on, and the type of content that people will actually search into the search bar. Most people won't search like, Genji is the funniest character in the game, if you named your title that. While a lot of people would search up certain tip videos or certain idea videos. So those can give you a good base of subscribers and viewers, and then you can kind of expand from there. But yeah, that's why I feel like, at least in general, a lot of people kind of make similar-ish videos. And I wish that I could expand on this more. And if you guys have any more ideas that you want me to talk about, please do tell me. As I guess that's just kind of scraping the surface, but that's mainly what I can think about right now. One thing I want to say though is that people don't usually try to make the same videos because they don't care. I see a lot of people just kind of thinking that people just don't care about their subs, they're just trying to grind them for money. That's not really how it works for the most part. People want to keep helping their subs. People want to keep making people come back. And people really enjoy seeing people come back over and over again, learn new stuff, say how grateful they are, or how I guess they would like to improve, and just kind of keep the communication going back and forth. So that's a thing that kind of happens. I feel like a good thing to just kind of, I guess, finish on is that a lot of the times, let's say you have 100% fun making a really creative video, but it only gets like 3,000 views and not that many people talk to you back in the comment section. But let's say you have an 80% fun time making another video, and then you get twice or 3 times as many views, and more importantly than that, because views don't really matter, twice to 3 times as many people comment stuff back, talk to you back, make it more enjoyable, make it more back and forth. Well, that kind of makes up for the 20% loss of fun making I guess a completely creative video. Plus, you still also get the fact that you're getting more views, you're getting more subs, you're getting more people talking to you. You can just kind of see how this goes and how the system is just kind of built. I honestly don't really know how they could fix this. This is just really at least what I've been personally seeing and just kind of how it works out, at least from what I've seen. Of course, again, there are going to be a lot of outliers, a lot of people that just maybe make some random video and poof, they're at the top of the Overwatch YouTube game. That happens actually quite a bit. And I wish I could be that creative and make stuff that's completely different and do all that stuff. But really, I like to follow lines, I like to follow rules, I like to follow what does okay and start to climb up the ladder. I know maybe that won't be the best idea, and maybe that's not the best way of thinking to do YouTube, but that's just kind of what I like to do. I like to grind it out in video games more than just try to, you know, believe in myself and throw something randomly out there. But again, maybe that's just me. Maybe that's where I'm holding myself back. Maybe that's why I'm not, you know, climbing the YouTube game as much as I should be. Probably so. I would say probably so. But I don't know. That's at least just all my own opinions. And that's why I feel like a lot of people make these same videos. Because YouTube just kind of supports it. As well, YouTube making the 10-minute thing so important now, that also does support making the same type of videos because they're very, very well equipped to become 10-minute videos. And a lot of like funnier videos are hard to scrouge out to 10 minutes. And of course, uploading daily, that's another thing we have to add to the equation. YouTube loves that. And yeah, it's kind of hard to do if you're making super creative content. While if you're making just videos that you enjoy making but that aren't super creative, it's a little bit easier to do that. There's a lot of different things going into this and a lot of different reasons why people are going for this and why it seems like there's a lot of similar content. But the very final thing I want to leave you guys off with is that people don't make these videos, again, because they don't care. They make them often because they do care, because they want to get content out to you guys, because they want you guys to enjoy the game, learn more about the game, improve at the game. And sometimes they just maybe don't have enough ideas for 10 minutes. And often you just say, you know, maybe don't make a 10-minute long video. But if you're a YouTuber at the bottom of the YouTube game, barely scrounging enough views and enough money, I guess, to even just barely live off of YouTube, it's kind of hard to just say, you know, throw that out the window, make a 2-minute video, and, you know, just hope that that ad revenue will work out. A lot of times it doesn't. Of course, there are Patreon and a lot of other ways to fix this, but I don't know. It's very confusing. It goes very, very deep. And that's where I'm just going to end it for today, because it's just kind of hard to think about all this. But yeah, that's at least my own personal opinion. And again, if you think I said something weird or if I said something, I don't know, really just kind of different, please tell me. I'll try to fix up anything. I am talking off script, just basically off my ideas. So of course I'm going to say some random stuff that probably sounds either really dumb or sounds like I have no idea what I'm talking about. But that's often just what happens when you're having essentially a conversation from one person to another, which is what I've been trying to do. Anyways, as always, guys, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoy. Hope that this kind of told you, at least in my own opinion, why this does happen and why people do sometimes make the same-ish videos. Not all the times, but sometimes. Anyways, as always, guys, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and as always, have a wonderful day.